This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
With just weeks to go before the annual Junkanoo parades, trouble is brewing within the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence. There's a protest over a recent decision to make changes to the judging and scoring system.
In fact, the Saxons Valley Boys Junkanoo groups are insisting that it is far too late to make such fundamental changes, as groups have already made and in some cases completed preparation for the parades on the basis of compliance with the current rules and procedures agreed earlier this year.
In a statement today, the groups called for the JCNP to defer its decision until next year, when there would be sufficient time to review the existing system.
The groups insist that the JCNP has ignored concerns and are proceeding with these changes despite protests from both groups, which they claim is in direct violation of the memorandum and articles of association. The groups have since requested government intervention in the matter.
But JCNP Chairman Silbert Ferguson told ZNS News that there's more to this than meets the eye with the protest launched by the two groups. In fact, Mr. Ferguson explained that the JCNP is guided by a democratic process. It's the same process, he said, that allowed 14 out of the 16 Junkanoo groups to vote for the immediate change.
Now, Mr. Ferguson would not say more than that, except that JCNP will hold a press conference sometime next week. Well, the Nassau City Opera, along with the Chamber Ensemble and the Police Force Band, are expected to put on a grand performance tomorrow night at Christ Church Cathedral. Opera director Dr. Cleveland Williams says they'll be singing songs like Land of Hope and Glory, and says it'll be a real treat as they present Mozart's Requiem. It's all in remembrance of those war veterans and law enforcement officials who died in the line of duty.
John F. Kennedy once said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what could you do for your country?" I think the time has come, as we celebrate 40 years as an independent country, that we need to unite more and celebrate us as a people and celebrate those who have gone before us, those who have made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can enjoy freedom from tyranny, so that we can enjoy the beauty of these Bahama lands that we called home.
Now, the concert begins at 8 o'clock tomorrow night at Christ Church Cathedral. Well, still to come, our two national champions heading to the World Cup in Russia.
And we'll tell you the latest about some controversy surrounding the Marsh Harbor Airport and what the minister is doing to clear it up. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Andrew Knowles. Prime Minister Perry Christie says he's encouraged by the negotiations taking place on the sale of both the Hilton and South Ocean hotels. His comments came during a brief press conference Wednesday to announce the new registration period for the National Trading Agency.
I am even more convinced that we can look forward to developments taking place in that area, and I expect as early as tomorrow to meet with would-be purchasers to discuss the future of most certainly the Hilton Hotel going forward. And I'm anticipating that we are going to have significant economic interventions that are positive in the economy, therefore making the work of the National Trading Agency an absolute necessity towards ensuring that young Bahamians in particular are integrated into the economy in a meaningful way.
Standard & Poor's Rating Services affirmed the Bahamas' BBB A-2 sovereign credit rating. However, the outlook on the long-term credit ratings remained negative. S&P says the ratings reflect the generally prudent policies, and the negative outlook is due to the challenges of turning around the fiscal accounts amid low growth and external pressure. The firm also addressed the planned introduction of value-added tax, saying it would yield important revenue, something that, coupled with constrained spending, could stem the rise in general government debt trajectory and improve the Bahamas' fiscal indicators. And in international business news, Toyota Motor unveiled the best set of quarterly numbers among Japan's big three automakers, logging a 70% surge in net profit and boasting its full fiscal year earnings outlook for the second time this year to just over $17 billion. The results extend the sharpest turnaround in profitability among the top Japanese car companies, Toyota, Nissan, and Honda, with Toyota logging a profit margin of 9.4% during the quarter, compared to minus 2.2% and 0.8% in the two fiscal years following the 2008 global recession. That was a look at your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Andrew Knowles.